Alright folks, as you can see, I have the netbook torn up again, and this might even be the last time that I tear up the netbook. I have no idea. It was working fine yesterday. I went to sleep, and this afternoon I came back to it, and it had locked up solid. Couldn't do anything with it. Tried to reboot it, and it would get to a point where I could load Windows just fine. Well, actually, it would post fine. But then it would load Windows, and the whole thing would just stop. Dead in its tracks. I would not be able to actuate any of the keyboard lock things, and nothing would work. Tried startup repair, same thing. Tried safe mode. I actually didn't try safe mode. I probably should have. But I replaced the memory because the RAM actually is just some cheap crap. I don't even know what it is, but it's never really worked right. And this board has never worked right with any memory modules. It always seems to have some kind of a problem at the same point. So it's probably got bad solder joints. I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't think I'll be surprised if I find out that this thing is done. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing is putting a different wireless card in there, because I found out that there is actually a second little thing there. And I wonder if maybe putting another wireless card in there would give me my wireless back. Not that it would matter. I like the Ethernet more anyways. But maybe I'll try it. I don't know. If it works, I'll try it. But if it doesn't work, I'm not going to trash good parts. I'm thinking that maybe there's a potential possibility that the hard drive failed. There's the drive. I'm actually restoring a backup to it right now. Let's see if I can pull that up. That's going to take a bit of time. I'll see if that works. But I really doubt it. I think it's done. I think the motherboard failed. And that will be the end of this netbook. I think it's probably time that I look for a new netbook anyways, because this one has a fan problem that it's developed. You'll probably hear that as soon as I turn it on. Maybe it'll work as long as it's cold. I don't know, but that seems kind of weird because it's never had that problem before, and it usually runs 24/7. So what I'm really concerned is, am I going to be able to find one that's got a stereo input? That's what this is, the stereo microphone input. That's what I need. All right, the backup is done. I'm not going to wait for that stupid thing. This is the moment of truth, folks. I don't know why it just opened up a desktop, but we'll see what this can do. My guess is that this won't do anything. It's just going to have the same problem, but we'll find out. Alright. Just going to turn it on. And you can hear the fan failure. This is probably not going to do anything. It'll probably just freeze like it usually does. And that's exactly what it just did. The screen goes blank. I don't know if it'll ever come back, but it's not doing anything with the hard drive. So it has come back, but the hard drive does not do anything. I don't know what the problem is. I really don't. I should probably just see if I can do something else with it. Boot something else. I've disabled AHCI mode. We'll see if that does anything. I can already tell you that the answer is probably no, because if it does, that'll be the first time it's ever done anything at all. It gives me the option to start in safe mode. Nope. Just try and start Windows normally, because startup repair doesn't really work much either. It reads the hard drive for like a second and then just stops. I don't understand why. It just makes no sense to me. Alright, so as I'm sure as you can see, I've gotten busy with the RAM modules. I've tried these two right here, and I've also tried another one in the system, and I don't get any further than I did before. So I think it's toast. I've got a couple of other rays of hope. I've got another drive here that I can potentially use. It's already got a Windows install on it. I'm going to see if that does anything. I'm going to try reloading the backup to that drive, and I'm also going to try reinstalling Windows Fresh. Those are my 3 last chances. If none of those work, the system is screwed, and I'm not going to try anything else to try and get it working because it just won't happen. I don't even know if you can buy motherboards for that system anymore. It's just way too damn old. I found something on eBay that looks promising, but it's a new system. And I don't want to do anything until I know that this one can't be fixed. Okay, drive is slotted in. Let's see what it does. I'm curious what's on this, too. It might still be the same Windows install that I had on here before. Yeah, it just locks up, too. And then the screen goes blank. That's what's really concerning, is that the screen goes blank after a while, and the hard drive activity just stops. I can press a key, and the screen comes back, but it just never does anything. So I'm pretty sure that that's indicative of a motherboard failure, and that's where we're going to end at that. But I'm going to try something else, and we'll see how far we get with it. Alright, so this thing is deader than a doornail. Even the installer doesn't work. I'm pulling it out of here. I'm just going to try another system. Forget it. I'm not going to waste my time with this one. Alright, so I'm going to try this. Mix is, of course, being stupid, as usual, and not starting. I'm taking forever to do anything, so I'll see if I can find a stereo song. I don't think it's got stereo input. I really don't. But there's only one way to find out. Where's that song? There it is. This is my stereo test song. I always use this one. It's probably going to distort that thing like crazy. Because I think the Realtek chip that was in the netbook can handle more than what this can. Yeah, a lot more than what this can. But it looks like it's mono. That part of the song is mono, so... or mostly mono anyways. Yeah. Nope, mono only. Even though it claims to be stereo, it's not actually stereo. I can't believe I've wasted an hour and 3 minutes to get to this point. Alright, no holding back now. Let's see what this piece of crap can do. I did turn off the fast boot, so that's why it displayed that. Windows logo. Oh, it froze. And then the screen shuts off. Almost half an hour later, I now have a Linux Mint disk configured. So we'll see what this does. Alright, so to finish off this portion of the video, it's not good news. No matter what I do, I cannot get the netbook to do anything. Windows freezes at... any version of Windows will freeze at that loading screen like that, like you saw, and it will not read the hard drive, which makes me suspect, because the hard drive is good, and I had two different hard drives, both of which are decent enough that you would expect that they'd be able to boot. This is a test drive, but it's got no bad sectors on it, so it should in theory be able to boot, and it didn't do anything. In fact, it stopped in exactly the same place as the 320 gigabyte Seagate, and the Seagate is a known good drive, so that tells me that the hard drive controller is toast. So that's pretty much terminal at that point. But Linux actually freezes somewhere else in the boot options. You can see we've got a firmware bug, ACPI, BIOS, blah blah blah, and I know that that ISO is good because I just used it to install on a virtual machine. So, and I'm pretty sure that USB stick is good too. So. Both of those problems are pretty well terminal, and it means that the netbook's time in the limelight is over. And if I really want to fix it, I need to get a new motherboard. I don't even know if you can get a new motherboard for this for a decent price. I doubt it, and it's not really worth it either. It's only a little Atom N450 processor. And those are junk. They've got new versions of the Atom out now that are much better than this piece of junk. And in fact, there are some later Acer netbooks that have got much better CPUs than this piece of crap. So I think it's lights out for this particular unit. I will see what I can do in terms of replacing it, but for now, I don't have anything else to say on that. Alright, I'm whispering a bit because people don't know I'm awake yet, but I removed the wireless card, and I'm getting a little bit further now. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to disable HC and see if I get anywhere. I don't think so. I don't know why. Oh, it's in IDE mode already. Let's put it back into HCI. Exit saving changes. And we'll see if it actually boots. I don't think so. I think it's got some kind of hard drive controller malfunction. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, folks. I absolutely don't believe it. It was this stupid wireless card that was causing the problem the entire time. Well, maybe. Yep, it's booting. So something must have happened to this card at some point, and it, like, just died, but that is impressive. Let me tell you, I don't even know. I've seen some pretty goofy computer problems, but that takes the cake right there. So, here's the stunning conclusion of this video. Apparently the netbook is fine. It seems kind of slow, but apparently it works fine. There's no problem with it at all. It was just that stupid piece of garbage wireless card. And apparently it's out of battery too. I was editing this video and putting it all together, and I realized that I didn't really have a good conclusion for it, so I might as well make one right now. So all of this started basically on Sunday afternoon, when I noticed that the netbook that is up there decided that it was no longer, it locked up completely. Couldn't do anything with it. And then, as you saw in the video, every subsequent boot would just give me a fade-in of the Windows logo. It wasn't even a complete, or the Windows splash, it wasn't even a complete fade-in. It sort of stopped halfway. But it would actually read the hard drive if it were under control from HDAT2, which I thought was weird. You know, if it were a motherboard problem, you'd really expect nothing to work. But really, I've seen some weird computer problems like that happen before, and usually the solution was to replace the motherboard. So that's what I thought the problem was, but it turns out it was much simpler than that. I don't even know what kind of card this is. I think it's an Atheros of some kind, but maybe somebody can tell me more about it. Of course, there's not much focus, and I can't really do much with that, but made in China, so I can definitely believe all of the problems that it's got. But it's hard to believe. You know, I've seen some really strange computer problems in the past, but this one really takes the cake. And actually, the only thing that made me try this in the first place was actually a dream that I had the night before, which is just funny. You know, I did a teardown, a complete teardown of that netbook up there, and put it all back together except for the wireless card, and it worked fine. And when I woke up, that was the first thing I remembered, and I thought to myself, well, that's so stupid, but it's also so stupid that it could possibly work. And so while I was trying it, I kept saying to myself, well, there's no way this is going to work. It's not going to work, it's not going to work. And sure enough, that was exactly what the problem was. I wonder if it says on the back what it actually is. Yeah, there it is. Atheros AR5B95. That's what this is. You can see the certifications and whatnot. Just fell on the floor. But there's always been something wrong with this card. It's been bad for a while, actually. I don't think it's worked since 2013. Maybe even a little bit after that. I'm not quite sure, but I've never really used it. I've always just used the wireless, and now, of course, the card is totally dead. I have a few I could probably try to put in the netbook, but I don't really care about the wireless functionality. I just use the Ethernet anyways, so I think it'll just be fine. If I decide to sell it, I might put another Ethernet card in there, or sorry, another wireless card in there that will work with the system. I'm not sure if I've got any that'll work in it. I mean, I've got one that I think is from a Toshiba laptop that I think might work, but I'm not sure about that. I think it's another Atheros chip, but I don't really know. Either way, I'm glad that the motherboard's not dead and it was just a simple problem, but still, like I said, another odd computer problem. This one definitely is the weirdest that I've ever encountered, and it's also the weirdest circumstances leading up to my discovering the problem that I've ever had, ever. It's been a weird weekend. So, there you go, and my vacation's almost over, so I'm going to enjoy a little bit of it, have my dinner here, and I will put this video together. So, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.